Everyone, and welcome to round number 6 recap of my first of the board federated chess tournament in 2026. I was playing against National Master Gao Raymond, who is rated 2056. I played him last year in the same tournament, but in the first round, and it was reversed colors. I played with white and I beat him, and now of course he was looking for revenge, so let's see what happened. So once again, I played d5 on the first move, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, Italian game. The same thing that happened in the previous round. Go check it out. I played knight f6, d3. I also expected him to play d4, but I guess, we'll leave it for another time. So d3, I go h6, c3. So if you check out the recap of round number 5, I don't want to spoil what happened, go check it out, because a slightly different thing happened. So c3, but the same opening, knight c6, knight f6, a4, taking up some space, g6, a5, and here I decided to play a6 because I was like, okay, bishop g7, you don't really want to allow this a6, b6, because then I'm just like forever weakness, so didn't want to do it, so played a6 first, castle, bishop g7, and now I'm thinking, like, what if I would have played g5? Like, let's say I go g5, I know a bit tough, but very aggressive from the beginning. Let's say if h3, I go bishop g7, and yes, because g6 I decided, okay, in the previous game I played g6, and now in the previous game I played g5, so now, and also it's different lines, so I also knew that after a4 I can play g6, but yeah, I should have gone obviously for something else. So g6, a6, bishop g7, castle, king h7, d4, knight h5. So here I thought, what if I play d5? Honestly, thought of it and didn't quite like it after king b3, even though knight d7, knight d... oh wait, yeah, simple like this. Honestly, I'm not sure. Wait, d5, what I didn't like about this, like takes, I didn't like something. Could be simple, yeah, queen b3, but then I can even play knight f4, can play knight e7. Yes, I mean my opponent b7 potentially weak. Maybe I just was calculating this, but no, b5 I would have never played it. I would probably play bishop b6. And yeah, knight to4. Yeah, this is what I calculate approximately. Like, I think this. I also gotta keep in mind this b5 idea, because it looks interesting. You never play it like that, but apparently black are more or less fine. So yeah, king h7, d4, knight h5, bishop b3, and now queen f6. So f5 was best. Tough to say why I didn't play this move. I honestly, I looked at it, I'm like, okay, there is bishop b1, she takes h5, I can just go back. So I assume I didn't like something about this position and this pawn specifically, because I thought of f5, but yeah, my brain didn't work quite good, so... But yeah, 5 just makes things so much easier. So there was a line, takes, and now g4. So a bit different. Now I can take, bishop c2, attack in this one, rook c1, this. And now this, rook f3. But again, it's like two bishops. I'm not that sure about this position with the black pieces. Like, yeah, slightly worse for sure. Like rook d1, rook d7 is kind of complicated. So I go queen f6. I'm like, okay, let's go knight f4, let's go g5, let's go g4, let's go rook j. And let's try to checkmate here. But yeah, he plays d5, very good move. Knight d8, bishop f1. I'm also a bit sick, I'm not sure if you can actually hear that, but no excuses though. Like, you'll see what happened in the game, and yeah, no excuses. So knight f4, king h2, g5, g3, knight g6. So I'm here for a second, I was like, oh no, knight g5. But yeah, I have a simple king g8 and then bishop g5, there is king f2. And black actually wins. But yeah, I was a bit scared for a sec. So this I could not really play, even though like looks good, but g4, this, bishop g4, and I mean I can probably just resign. So c4, and quite typical for King's Indian. King's Indian? Is it? Yeah. So c4, c5. You see, I mean, I'm recording this after the round. I mean, I cannot talk. I'm sick. e7, e4, f5, takes, knight d2, king g8, c5. And I was like, I'm in trouble. Like, can't say it's super critical, but it is a trouble. So I go g4, takes, bishop e2. Bishop e2 is a bit surprising. I go knight d7. And here for a sec, I was like, what if knight e5? But what I calculate is this, bishop g4, takes, and knight e5. I'm not taking this way because I think I'm losing somehow. But computer says it's a draw. I plan to go knight e5, and let's say if queen e2, I go queen d7, and want to go knight g4, knight e3, rook e8, bishop a1, a lot of different things. But okay, he goes knight e4. I was a bit shocked, and I had knight f4 immediately. I played it move later, but knight f4 immediately, and now it's just equal. So I should have gone for it, like, no excuses, because he kind of has to take, because if let's say bishop goes to c4, I actually plan to go knight g2. But yeah, there's king f7, queen h5. Yeah, that's just a lot easier. But yeah, he would have taken here, and let's say bishop d4. I didn't see rook f5. I honestly wanted to play queen f4 now, bishop g7, king g7. But yeah, I would have easily made a draw here as well. Like, I'm not risking to lose this for sure. Bishop e2, this takes, let's say takes, and rook f5, and knight d6. I mean, there is some danger a little bit, but overall, like, should be good. King f6, have a lot of counterplay. This pawn is not moving, so yeah, should make a draw. So instead I go rook e8, knight d2, takes, and now knight f4. Now it's a bit different, because queen c4, I calculated queen f7. I'm like, what if takes? King h5, king g1, e takes, bishop d4. Yeah, I looked at this line. It's like, that's the most fun part. Like, I looked at this lines and I couldn't figure out. Like, I didn't see rook a3. I calculated something different, but I thought king somehow escapes. But okay. King g4, h5. And I was again shocked because queen g4, I didn't really expect it. Again, expected queen c4 or even queen d1. No, queen c4, queen g4. But queen g4, okay, h5, but queen h4 is something I didn't even look at. Queen d1 I looked at. Queen f3 I thought is fine, but queen f3 I think is just slightly worse. Because queen h5 I can now take. I actually calculated and I couldn't figure out why. Because here d5 and rook f2. But yeah, I mean, no excuses, just terrible moves. Queen h4 takes. I go knight d5, c take d6, c take d6, knight d6. Calculated this. I mean, f takes f3 is just super easy. Cannot play rook f2 because king g3, rook d2, and knight 8, and I lose. So as opposed to that, I'm supposed to play rook d8 here, which I didn't really look at. So knight d6, I play rook e6, and I was like, okay, this knight b4, and knight b4 is just a terrible move. I should go this immediately, and then knight f6, and go knight g4. And that way I can keep all my advantage. If rook g1, I have knight g4, and this is looking very good. If f3, takes, rook f3, knight g5, rook e3, knight e6. Wait, what did I miss? Do I just go this way? Takes, knight e2, yes. So, oh wait, I want to actually look at this. Takes, knight c2, rook g1, and do I go? Oh yes, this is losing. Bishop f6 is best. Yeah, so a bit complicated. I go knight before rook g1, and I kind of realized that it's actually getting tough. I go knight c2, rook g1, knight e3, this, knight f6, and I offered him a draw here. And I was like, okay, Actually, after rook f6, I offered him a draw. He declined. He goes knight e4, rook g6, takes, and rook b7. After rook g4, I was like, okay, I mean, it is a draw for sure. So rook b8, king h7, knight g5, king g6, rook b6, and here I play a losing move, king f5, but he didn't use it. So I'm supposed to play bishop f6, which I actually didn't see. I was like, I'm not playing it. So the idea, of course, if takes, I just take back and should make a draw. So if what else? Well, let's say king h3, there is rook a4, but this one is a bit complicated because like e4, I gotta go back. Basically, the idea now, if knight f3, I take on e4, and knight cannot really move. If king g3, I can go back. I'm threatening to take this king f7, knight g5, and I can just take rook e4, and it is a draw. Now let's say rook e6 can take, and easy draw. So takes rook a5, a7, and like h4. Again, easy draw. Rook b6. I go king f5, e4, king f4, and now he had a winning move, which is rook b3. The idea being is that rook h4, knight h3, I'm forced to take on e4, and now rook b4, he wins the rook. So I have to take and take on e4, but rook b6, of course, and rook a6, I lose the game. He goes knight e6, and I'm like, I'm playing this for a win. I'm taking the pawn. And there was also a line, let's say knight h3, and I cannot take, and I saw it because now knight f2, and I'm losing the game. And I was supposed to play king f3 here, or I actually plan to go king e3, and if let's say rook b3, king d4. And I'm threatening h4, threatening to play rook e4, this king c5, and I was like, okay, I mean, I'm for sure making a draw here, rook h4, this king b5, but okay. And here is the moment after which, you know, you sometimes think of quitting chess forever. King e4. I forgot about what I thought of as rook a6, and of course this is just very good. And what I thought of was knight g7, rook h4, this rook g4, take on g7. Once again, this is a draw. But rook b4, and now I'm losing a piece. And here let's say I could have maybe played this, but again, this, and I cannot really push knight g3, and I lose a game. So I go king f5. So what else? Let's say this takes, knight g7, king h4, but here again, knight e6, knight c7, knight a6, knight b4, and knight d3. Right on time. King f5, king this, and promote. So I play king f5, bishop f6, and I'm like, okay, I mean, there's still some chances, little chance. I honestly thought rook g5 is gonna be played, and you know, still easy win, but okay, takes, I take. So the only chance was, let's say, if he's not careful enough, he gives me check, he gives me this check. This is already a draw because I go a6, king b8, and now there is no way to win. Like if my king is on b8, I mean, it is a draw, and I knew it, and I'm like, okay, I mean, let's just play for quite a bit. So bishop f2, king e6, but yeah, he plays king g2, and after h7 I admit my loss. It's either this or rook h7, king e6, and takes. Yeah, games like this are unfortunate to lose. I mean, it's very frustrating. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's just super annoying to lose like that. Yeah, I mean, very complicated. Unfortunately, yes, you'll see the accuracy could have gone either way. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if I would have won this game, because at some point, you know, he played this, started doing all these checks, and I was like, okay, my king walks, his king might be an danger, and I'm like, okay, let's fight. And Kino for him like, oh, I'm playing for him. And as soon as he saw, he didn't even play Rook before, but I felt Rook before because he was kind of getting a long time, and I was like, okay, like what's going on? And as you can see by a graph, equal, +3, +4. I believe I lost 12 rating points, so I will be 2140 approximately. Disappointing, yes. Did I learn something new? Of course, yes. Should I maybe have one more games? Probably not. Like, I had a chance in round number 2. If I would have won that would have been great. And then you never know how the tournament might go around. And I had a great position in round number 3 as well. And yes, it just turned out that way. The next tournament will be Canadian Chess Championship in Montreal in April. And then the closest one will be Ontario Open in May. And then maybe Canadian Open Chess Championship in July. So let's see how it goes. Let me know any questions, comments you might have. Apologies for terrible performance. 2.5 out of 6. Last year I think I finished 3 out of 6, or 3.5 out of 6. Like it was maybe, yes, 3 out of 6. Like I also didn't convert some good positions, but I also, I mean, yeah, I lost 2 as well. Same thing. I won 1, bunch of draws. Same result. I think actually same result, guys. Yeah, probably same result. It is what it is. I'll see you in the future recaps. Enjoy. Bye bye.